What's going on, everybody? Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel, and we are here at Sun and Fun 2026 at the Flight Sim Tech Center with none other than Desktop Pilot. Guys, they invited us this year to come and help them out, work the booth with them to showcase the best thing they got to offer. Right here behind me is a full-scale 1-to-1 G1000 Cessna 172 with triple monitors set up. You can see we're running X-Plane 12 back there. We're about to take her up on a quick flight just to show you what Desktop Pilot can offer for those of you that are looking to take your flight training needs that much farther. Now, this is not just a plain old simulator, guys. This, what you're looking at right here, is a device that is currently awaiting certification by the FAA to be used as an actual flight training device. That's right. So once they get that certification, this is going to take you that next level, or take you to that next level and get you closer to being inside the cockpit of a Cessna 172 with a G1000. Are you guys ready? I sure as heck am. Let's go ahead and hop on the hot seat. Let's take it for a spin. We're going to be departing from Lakeland, right here exactly where the air show's happening today, Friday, and we're going to go around the pattern real quick, and let's see what we can put the G1000 through and see how it responds to show you guys what Desktop Pilot can offer you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, guys, here we are. We are in the hot seat. Again, check it out. This is an option that you get when you make the purchase with the G1000 simulator unit. It'll add the seat in this frame that you're looking at right now, but let's focus on the nitty-gritty here, right? We've got the G1000. You've got a beautiful PFD here showing you all of your primary flight instruments right here, and on the right-hand side, just like you would expect, you have your MFD, right? Your navigation display. Let me just show you really quick what this thing is capable of, right? We can go ahead and use our joystick here for the range, and you can see how that's zooming in and zooming out respectively. So if you've been practicing or flying on the G1000 inside X-Plane or Flight Simulator 2020 or 2024, this should come to you at no surprise. This is going to function exactly like the real thing. I can demonstrate real quick. Let's go to the flight plan page. You can see Lakeland is set as our active leg. Let's go ahead and set a destination here. So we're going to type. There we go. And let's say we're going to fly to Kissimmee, just a few miles to the east, maybe northeast. You can see how tactile. You can almost hear them clicking as I'm doing it here, even though we've got some crowds around us. So it's probably going to take the sound a little bit. There we go, Kissimmee. We're going to set enter. Enter, and voila, we've got a direct to route showing a desired track right now of 279 degrees. We're about 35 miles. Let's say we're going to go to Kissimmee. However, I'm just going to stop midway in the air. I'm going to turn around and just put the aircraft down back in Lakeland. All right, guys, so here we go. We got the parking brake module, and again, I have to reiterate, everything you're seeing here is from Desktop Pilot, which is similar to their desktop lineup, and now you've got it all integrated into the full cockpit. Parking brake is off. I've got all my exterior lights on. Master, alternator, and battery are on. Avionics bus 1 and 2 on. Standby battery is armed. And now all we have to do is get airborne. So here we go.
Premium bundle where you provide your own PC monitor. And then
There we go. Airspeed's alive. Trying to keep her down the center. There's about 55. We're going to pull back on the yoke. And we're flying. Give it a little bit of a trim. Again, having that trim wheel right here is so natural. If you're like me, if you've flown the 172 before, this is gonna come to you at a very natural environment. And you can see how everything is exactly how you find it in the real airplane. Everything is exactly as I remember it inside a Cessna 172 with the G1000. And so if you're flying these planes in real world, or you're used to flying them in the simulator, this is gonna feel right at home for you guys, okay? So again, take a look as I'm flying. Look at that PFD, look at the clarity. Check out the MFD, it's following that route. Now let's say we want to get the autopilot working. You're probably wondering if the autopilot is even modeled. That is 100% correct. It is working. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a heading to intercept that course towards Kissimmee. Let's say we want to climb up to 3,500 feet. We're in a VFR flight here. Let's keep turning. And then I'm going to go ahead and engage autopilot. Flight director is on. We're going to go to flight level change. There we go. And then we've got heading mode not enabled. So now hands are off the controls. Autopilot is doing its thing. We're going to keep this turn going just for a few moments. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Let's keep that turn going. Again, we want to set ourselves up. Look at our HSI. You can see your CDI there showing your course to Kissimmee. This is a direct to. And look at this, hands completely off the controls. I'm just monitoring my throttle. We are in flight level change, so remember, the aircraft is going to maintain that airspeed while adjusting our vertical speed. And check it out. If you look here on your PFD, you have the options to enable those boxes that make flying that much easier, guys. So believe it or not, this is a real-life feature found inside a lot of the G1000 units. It'll actually give you such a visual aid and cues to follow that route to your destination, including your precision approaches. So if we want to load up an RNAV or an ILS, this will give you a visual representation. That is the beauty of the G1000. So here we are, we're still climbing, full throttle, mixture still full ridge. And as we get closer to that magenta line that's representing our course to Kissimmee, I can simply switch over to nav. And now my PFD is showing GPS, which is letting the autopilot know and letting you, the pilot in command, hey, now we're looking for that magenta line, right? We're gonna follow it to our destination. But you know what, let's say something goes wrong or I just changed my mind and I no longer want this to work. Well, you've got that autopilot disconnect right here. There's the flashing yellow lights for the autopilot. So now I've got control again. Let's stow that flight director. There we go. Let's go back to Lakeland and let's go find a place to land. There we go. And check it out, we're a little bit high, which is exactly what I wanted. So now let's see if I can do a bit of a forward slip and get us down on runway 28 safely here. Watching my airspeed, we're below 110. Let's get 10 degrees of flaps. I'm just gonna line myself up with runway 28, and I'm gonna see if I can pull off this forward slip. Now, in full transparency, you guys know we're exclusively almost on Flight Sim 2024, so flight dynamics and the handling inside X-Plane are gonna feel a little bit different. So here we go, I'm gonna try to pull this off. There we go, the right rudder, boots on the floor pretty much all the way out. I'm gonna keep that bank to keep that nose in line with runway 28. We're about halfway now, midfield over this runway. We're coming in a little bit fast. I'm gonna see if we can recover here. Airspeed's bleeding off nice and gently. We're gonna let go and just straighten out the nose. There we go. I don't need to touch the throttle. There we go, get some flaps. Gonna slow us down. Look at that, we're getting all the way to the end of the runway, but very easy, feel right at home. We're gonna pull back, let her sink. And just like that, we're down back in Lakeland. Get on those toe brakes, keep a center line, pull back in the elevator. And just like that, we're back on the ground in Lakeland. Guys, I can't tell you how phenomenal this feels. The yoke that you're seeing here, the rudder pedals, all by Desktop Pilot, just gives you that one-to-one exact feel like you experience when you're flying a Cessna, especially on the 172 SP, which is exactly what we're seeing right here. We've got everything from a functioning ELT. You'll turn it on, you'll see the light blinking. If you have the sound on, you can actually hear that little siren, that little alarm going. We've got the quartz meter here on the right side to check your hours. Everything you're seeing here works. If I want to work my comms, I can use my COM 1. I can switch to COM 2 if I needed to, and switch to standby to active. All of your soft key push buttons down here on the bottom, they all work. Let's say I am getting an IFR clearance and now I need to change my squawk code. Well, we're gonna go to code and we're gonna put in whatever code we feel like typing in. 5321, there we go. Oh, didn't take the last digit. Let's say ATC needs us to ident. Here we go, we'll press ident, give them that on their dope, check the alerts. It's giving me a CAS alert inside airspace, NAVDATA out of date. That's fine. Again, this is just for the demo purposes. But guys, I can't stress enough how immersive this really feels. I think people nowadays are raving about the whole VR thing, but this cannot be beaten, okay, guys? And as you're looking at this right now, this entire setup, again, keep in mind this, everything as it sits right now, we're looking at about $25,000 for this entire setup, including the monitors, the computer, the chair, and the frame. Now, the great thing is a desktop pilot offers different solutions, right? So if you're looking for just the unit itself, for the G1000 cockpit, we're looking somewhere in the 15,000 range. If you want to add that seat and the frame, we're getting closer to about 18,000 US dollars. And then lastly, again, going with the triple monitor displays for that ultra field of view and the computer that they're offering, you're looking at 25,000 US dollars. But guys, keep in mind that this is in the process of being certified by the FAA to be used as an official flight training device. To me, it doesn't get any better. If you're about to start your flight training journey, or you're already halfway through, or you're just a professional pilot and you're looking for something to keep you connected to your cockpit memory, check your flows, go through everything, guys, you can't get better anything than this. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel here with Desktop Pilot Sun and Fun 2026. We'll see you soon, guys.